Peace to your wounded soul, sacred heart. I don't come to you with empty comfort. I come bearing divine urgency, sent by the one who has watched you collapse behind closed doors, only to rise again, quietly, invisibly, relentlessly. This message isn't chance. You didn't stumble here. Heaven brought you. You were led, through pain, through hope, through nights that broke you open, to this exact moment. Because what I'm about to reveal will not merely encourage you, it will shift you. Let me speak plainly, with the weight of angels surrounding you, you are not invisible. Your agony in the silence was not wasted. Your strength in the shadows was never overlooked. The ache you've been carrying in your chest, the dull, haunting throb that follows you like a shadow, was seen, known, and written into the script of your redemption. There is something stirring in the spirit. Something you may not have language for. It isn't the scream of fresh heartbreak, but the weariness of waiting. The ache of having survived everything, and wondering if love still has room for someone like you. At 3 a.m., when the world goes silent, your soul whispers questions only heaven hears. Will I ever be seen again? Will anyone know how to love someone this real, this rebuilt, this scarred? Is love still a promise, or just a myth for the unbroken? And heaven leans in close to answer, you have not been forgotten. You have been hidden. Hidden not for rejection, but for protection. Because heaven has been orchestrating a love story too sacred to be rushed. There is someone who's been praying for exactly the version of you that now exists, not the perfect you, but the present you. Yes, you, the you with scars that tell stories no one else knows. The you who chose therapy over escape. The you who stayed alive when darkness whispered otherwise. The you who dared to hope even when hope betrayed you. You have become the kind of person only someone who has been broken and rebuilt will recognize. And heaven is preparing such a person, right now. They are not perfect. But they are present. They do not arrive to fix you. They arrive to sit beside you in the sacred space of your healing and say, this, too, is holy. Because they've walked their own road of restoration. Their heart was shattered, then softened. They know how to hold fragility gently, because they've lived through their own unraveling. They will not flinch at your rawness. They will not retreat from your intensity. They will not shrink from your truth. Because your truth, it will echo something deep inside them. You see, this is not a love story built on attraction. It's a love story built on recognition. Their spirit will recognize yours, not because of looks, words, or performance, but because heaven whispered your name to them in the silence. And when they come, it won't feel like fireworks or chaos. It will feel like peace entering a room that forgot what peace was. You won't need to prove yourself. You won't need to impress. You will just need to be. But before they arrive, before the divine encounter manifests, you must confront a lie, the lie that says your scars disqualify you from being loved. No. Your scars are your anointing. Your tears have watered the soil where your love story will bloom. The nights you almost gave up but didn't. The mornings you rose even with a broken spirit. The healing work you've done in the dark. Heaven has been collecting every moment like rare jewels. And now, the time is near. Let me say this clearly, you have not missed your moment. You have not waited too long. You are not too much. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are the exact answer to someone's prayer. Within the next 2 months, listen closely, there will be a sudden, divine alignment, a voice from your past will reappear with a transformed heart. Or, a stranger will step into your path, feeling so familiar it will unsettle your soul. Your spirit will whisper, I know you. I know you from somewhere deeper than this life. That whisper, it's the echo of eternity. Something deep within you is shifting. You felt it, haven't you? A strange stirring that refuses to let you return to numbness. It's subtle, but undeniable. Your old emotional armor is starting to crack. The walls you've so carefully built around your heart, they're trembling. Not because you're weak, but because you're finally ready. Ready to receive what only healing can attract. Ready to be seen, not just looked at. Ready to be held, not just handled. Ready for a kind of love that feels like rest, not resistance. And heaven has heard your readiness. The angels assigned to your journey have been watching. Not judging. Not rushing. Simply witnessing. They've watched as you rewrote your self-worth with shaking hands. Faced loneliness head-on without distraction. Chose growth over revenge. Released people you once begged to stay. Took your healing seriously, even when no one noticed. And now, they're moving on your behalf. Because the person who is coming. They carry reverence for the kind of love you've been preparing to give. They've been walking their own path of surrender. You are not the only one heaven has been preparing. Let me show you this soul. They are not flashy, but they are full of depth. They are not perfect, but they are profoundly present. They've known heartbreak so real it almost convinced them that connection wasn't worth the risk anymore. But something inside them kept breathing, a whisper of hope, like yours. That whisper has grown into a quiet prayer. And that prayer? It carries your name. No, they don't know it yet. But they've been asking heaven for someone, who speaks truth even when their voice shakes. Who isn't afraid of vulnerability. Who has met pain but didn't become it. Who understands that healing isn't a destination, it's a rhythm. They don't want a mask. They don't want a highlight reel. They want someone real. Someone like you. The spiritual realm has been aligning your paths with divine precision. It's not happening by chance. And here's what you must know. The version of you that exists today is the exact version this person has been prepared to meet. Not the version with polished edges. Not the version before the heartbreak. But the one who emerged from fire carrying wisdom in your eyes and softness in your heart. This is why you had to become who you are now. Because only this version of you could recognize this kind of love. Now hear me clearly, precious soul, this person won't flinch when they learn your story. They won't shrink from your past. They won't compete with your pain or try to overwrite your resilience. They will listen, really listen. Not to fix you. Not to dissect you. But to honor you. They will hold your stories like sacred scrolls. Because they, too, have stories with jagged edges. This is not a savior. Not a fixer. Not a project. This is a mirror. Someone who reflects the strength, the softness, and the sacredness you've forgotten to see in yourself. And when they speak, it will feel less like conversation and more like remembering. You'll know them by peace. They won't rush you. They won't demand you break down your walls in a single night. They'll sit quietly, patiently until your soul decides, it's safe now. And that moment it will be everything. Because when you feel safe enough to be soft again, that is when love will bloom, not forcefully, but organically. Like sunlight warming a frozen field. Like rain arriving after a long drought. Like recognition between two souls who've been through hell and found heaven in each other's eyes. But this part matters, you must resist the urge to self-sabotage. When the good comes, don't question if you deserve it. When kindness is offered, don't flinch and wait for it to disappear. When you're seen, really seen, don't run and hide. Because what's arriving is not counterfeit. It's not the pattern of your past wearing a new disguise. It is authentic. Aligned. Appointed. You don't have to perform to keep it. You don't have to twist yourself to maintain it. You just have to receive it. And that, beloved. That will be the hardest miracle for you to accept. Not because it's too good to be true. But because you've grown so used to surviving without it. So, listen closely. In the next few weeks, you will feel a message pull your heart open. A face trigger a strange, soul-level familiarity. A name echo in your spirit like it's always been there. A peace that your logic will try to argue with. A love that doesn't demand, but gently asks, can I stay? This is not the kind of love that rushes. This is the kind that roots. Your angels want you to hear this clearly, this is real. You are not being teased by hope. You are not being punished with almosts. You are being prepared to receive what will last. But you must stay present. Stay grounded. Stay open. Because the sacred is rarely loud, but it is always undeniable. The air is different now. Can you feel it? Something has shifted, not in the natural, but in the spiritual. It's subtle, like the quiet before a thunderstorm. But your soul knows. Your soul remembers. This is the part of the journey where heaven begins to stir what has long been still. What you thought would take years. What you stopped hoping for out loud. What you buried beneath protective laughter and quiet surrender. It's rising again. And this time, it's not coming with noise or chaos. It's coming with confirmation. Your angels are working quickly now. The orchestration is underway. What was once distant is becoming visible. What felt delayed is being accelerated. What you thought was gone is returning, either renewed or replaced. But as this divine movement begins, so does the necessity for discernment. Because as heaven draws near to fulfill, hell often tries to distract with a counterfeit. This is not to scare you. It's to awaken your spirit to the reality that not every voice is sent by God. Not every admirer is holy. Not every connection is covenant. So now, child of the Most High, you must learn to distinguish the divine from the familiar. Here's what you need to know, there is a difference between a test and a promise. A test will mimic what you prayed for, until it demands that you compromise the healing you've worked so hard to achieve. A promise, however, will complement that healing. It will speak to the you are becoming, not the you had to survive as. A test will leave you second-guessing your worth. A promise will reinforce your identity in God. A test will stir urgency and confusion. A promise will come clothed in peace. And when it arrives, it won't chase. It won't pressure. It will simply stand in stillness and invite you to recognize what heaven already confirmed in your spirit. So what should you be watching for? Your angels have made it clear, within the coming weeks, maybe even days, a sign will present itself. It may be a dream that feels too vivid to ignore. A conversation that feels divinely timed. A name that keeps echoing in your spirit. A familiar stranger who brings inexplicable peace. Whatever it is, don't look with your eyes, listen with your spirit. Because the confirmation is not just about the person, it's about the posture of your own heart. You will know it's them when you feel safe without explanation. You feel seen without performance. You feel invited, not invaded. You feel known in the places you never showed anyone. That, beloved, is the fruit of something heaven-born. Let me warn you of this too, the moment your promise begins to draw near, the old patterns will try to reappear. The ex that once ignored your worth may message you. The inner voice that says, "This is too good to be true," will rise up. The urge to sabotage, by ghosting, questioning, overanalyzing, will creep in. Breathe. It's not regression. It's testing. And you are not who you used to be. You don't have to prove you've changed. You just have to choose differently this time. The one heaven is sending will not demand you abandon your boundaries. They will cherish them. They won't flinch at your healing pace. They'll honor it. They won't idolize you. They'll see you fully and love you honestly. They will pray over you without needing to impress you. They will sit in your silence and hear your spirit. And when they speak, when they finally say the words your heart has been aching to believe, you won't feel adrenaline. You'll feel a deep calm. Because it won't feel like the beginning of something chaotic. It will feel like coming home. Here's what you must do as this moment approaches: guard your peace. Don't let anxiety talk you out of alignment. Trust your preparation. You are ready for this. Pray for clarity, not control. Let God unfold the story. Don't try to write the ending too soon. Don't script what's meant to be revealed. Stay open, but stay anchored. Yes, be receptive. But remain rooted in truth. If it doesn't honor your healing, it's not heaven. Let joy return. You've grieved long enough. Let yourself smile without suspicion. Let yourself laugh without guilt. This is what the preparation was for. And beloved, this final truth. You are not hard to love. You are not too much. You are not broken beyond repair. You are a miracle. A walking testimony. A sacred soul who has learned to breathe again after drowning in disappointment. And now, you are being called into a love that sees you not as a project, but as a promise fulfilled. When this person arrives, whether from your past or as a new face, you will feel it in the core of your spirit. Not just familiarity, but divine recognition. The feeling that says, "Ah, there you are. I've waited for this." You weren't the only one in preparation. While you were healing, rebuilding, crying in silence and rising in strength, they were doing the same. The one your soul has longed for, the one heaven whispered about, is not arriving perfect. They're arriving purified. Not without wounds, but with wisdom. Not polished, but present. Not flashy, but faithful. This is the part no one talks about. While you were learning how to sit with your pain without trying to escape it, so were they. While you were unlearning how to perform for love, they were learning how to hold love without controlling it. While you journaled in the midnight hour, they prayed, sometimes not even knowing who they were praying for, only that they longed to feel safe in someone's presence. Heaven has been weaving two separate paths, two sacred processes, into one divine convergence. And now, as the threads pull tighter, as the timelines align, the encounter nears. This isn't a fantasy. This isn't an illusion. This is divine choreography. A love story written in silence. Built through fire. Bound by grace. You may not know their name yet. You may not recognize their voice. But when they arrive, your spirit will sigh in relief. Not excitement. Not adrenaline. Not chaos. Just peace. Like water over dry soil. Like dawn after a sleepless night. And here's the holy part: they have been learning, just like you, how to love without fear. They've unlearned unhealthy patterns. They've faced their demons. They've stood at the edge of old addictions and said, "No more." They've cried over past mistakes, questioned their worth, and asked God the same questions you did. Is there someone who won't run when I'm vulnerable? Is there someone who knows how to love, not out of fear, but out of freedom? Will I ever feel safe in someone's eyes? And heaven answered both of you in tandem, yes. And I'm preparing them now. That's why your timing had to be delayed. Not because you were being punished. Not because you were forgotten. But because both of your souls needed time to be sanctified. This kind of love can't be rushed. It doesn't grow in shallow soil. It requires depth. Stillness. Courage. You needed time to break old patterns. They needed time to learn to stay when things get real. You needed to learn that love isn't earned, it's received. They needed to learn that being vulnerable doesn't mean being weak. So now, as both of you rise from your separate journeys, scarred but sacred, heaven begins to draw the line between you two, and closes the distance. At first, it might feel ordinary. A name you didn't expect. A reconnection you didn't plan. A stranger whose soul feels oddly familiar. A conversation that hits deeper than it should. And then, the confirmation comes. Not from them, but from me. From heaven. From the deep, still voice within you that says, it's time. Here's what will mark this encounter as divine: their presence will not overwhelm you, it will steady you. There will be no need to prove, chase, or impress. The connection will simply exist. Their wounds won't scare you, because you'll recognize your own reflection in them. You'll see not perfection, but healing. Not pride, but humility. They won't try to fix you, they'll respect your process. They'll stand beside you, not in front of you. They'll celebrate your growth without demanding you skip any steps. Their prayers will sound like your own. When they talk to God, you'll feel the resonance. You'll know, they've been through the fire. And they came out soft, not bitter. This is not about two people saving each other. This is about two whole souls meeting, not to complete, but to expand what God already began in them. And here's the stunning truth: neither of you would have recognized each other before the breaking. You needed to go through the valley to see love differently. You needed to lose some things to make space for this thing. You needed to release the fantasy of perfection to receive the reality of holy love. Heaven has waited for this moment. The angels have watched both of you wrestle with identity, battle through the night, and choose to rise again. Now they are rejoicing, because the time is near. Your timelines are colliding. Not by effort. Not by coincidence. But by design. You may meet soon. In a coffee shop. At an event. Online. Or through someone you trust. Or, they may reappear after a long separation, their heart reborn. Don't analyze it. Don't resist it. Just stay open. Because God does not deal in random. He deals in divine reconnection. And now, beloved soul, I leave you with this: what's coming isn't too good to be true. It's exactly good enough to be heaven. You've waited. You've wept. This is the moment you felt approaching in the quiet. Now, let love meet you at the level of your healing. It won't demand your attention. Not reckless. It will enter gently, like a breeze through a cracked window, because heaven never forgot what you asked for. Heaven has fulfilled, and love is already walking toward you. The wait is over, not because time has passed, but because your heart is now ready to receive what God refused to send prematurely. And when it comes, this sacred love, you will recognize it not by how it excites your body, but by how it calms your soul. It will feel like the first deep breath after years of holding your lungs hostage to fear. It will feel like sunlight spilling over ruins. It will feel like resurrection. Not flashy. Not dramatic. But holy. Here's what will happen: you will be seen, not just looked at. Held, not just touched. Heard, not just listened to. You won't be someone's option, distraction, or lesson. You'll be someone's answered prayer. Not because you tried harder, performed better, or earned love, but because you became a vessel that could hold the love God designed just for you. The one who comes will carry their own sacred stillness. You won't need to teach them how to love carefully. They've already learned through their own pain. You won't have to beg for consistency. They will be consistent, because they know the value of what's fragile. They'll see your scars and not pity you. They'll see your scars and think, finally, someone who understands. Because what you carry is not baggage, it's evidence of survival. And they'll recognize it because they survived too. This is not a half-healed romance stitched together by trauma. This is two resurrected hearts holding space for God's glory to rest in between. When they speak, it will sound like home. When they listen, it will feel like church. When they pray with you, you'll feel heaven lean in. And it will click. Not suddenly. Not loudly. But with a spiritual certainty that hums through your bones: this is it. No more guessing. No more asking if you're too much. No more shrinking to fit someone else's comfort zone. Because the one God sends will not be afraid of your depth. They will dive into it. They won't just survive the silence, you both will cherish it. You'll learn to laugh again, deep, real, throw your head back laughter. You'll learn to rest again, not just sleep. You'll learn to speak again, not just perform. And most of all, you'll learn that love doesn't have to hurt to be holy. But hear this last truth, beloved, this love does not complete you. Because you are already whole. This love does not rescue you. Because you already rose. This love does not save you. Because God already did. This love comes to witness what God has done in you, and to help you carry it forward. Together, you'll build not just romance, but legacy. Together, you'll heal not just one another, but others who witness what heaven can create from the ashes. Your love will become a lighthouse. Not perfect, but piercing through darkness. Not loud, but unshakably steady. And in those quiet nights, when you're sitting side by side, no masks, no performance, just presence, you'll look back and understand, every heartbreak was pruning. Every delay was protection. Every night you cried alone was recorded in heaven and returned in double portions of peace. So now, you are free to believe again. Not in a person, but in the timing of God. You are free to receive. You are free to feel. You are free to soften. You are free to let it be good. Because heaven is not teasing you. Heaven is crowning you. With laughter. With loyalty. With love that doesn't flinch. The journey was long. But the reward is real. And when it happens, when your name echoes in their spirit the same way theirs whispered through yours, when time slows and you see the promise standing in front of you in flesh and grace and scars and softness, you will know, this is what heaven wrote for me. Not a fantasy. Not a rescue. Not a replacement. A divine match, a holy witness. And finally, you'll whisper, my heart remembers how to hope. And heaven will answer, yes, child. It was always safe to believe again. Amen.